Hello, and welcome back to another day of Mr. Allen's Random Videos. Today would have been the second day that we were in Washington, D.C., those of you that were going to D.C. So, in an effort to try to bring D.C. home to you, I'm going to turn it over to Todd the tour guide, who's going to give you a virtual tour of Washington, D.C.'s must-see sites. So here we go! Hi there, I am Todd, and I am going to be your tour guide virtually through Washington, D.C. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Excuse me, you sir there in the shorts with the fanny pack. Nice accessory, but you can't be talking during the tour. Okay. I have lived here in Washington, D.C. virtually for the last 5 minutes or so. I know some facts. As you can see, I'm wearing an FBI hat. FBI is standing for Federal Bureau of Investigation. The FBI building is located here in Washington, D.C. Moving on. Okay. Arlington National Cemetery is a cemetery dedicated to the United States military. Any personnel that is post-Civil War, that has fought in a war for the America's military, could be buried here in Arlington. Excuse me, kid with the fanny pack. You gotta stop talking. This kid's driving me crazy. Okay, here in Arlington Cemetery, we are home to the Eternal Flame. The Eternal Flame is used to commemorate John F. Kennedy, our 35th president. It's an eternal flame, therefore it doesn't go out. Here in Arlington Cemetery, the largest attraction is the changing of the guard. This is one of the most bone-chilling and very cool experiences in anybody's life. You should really do the changing of the guard if you are ever able to in your life. The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is guarded 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Doesn't matter what the weather is, doesn't matter if it's windy or cold. There is always a guard that is standing guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is where the changing of the guard takes place. The guard is there so that nobody desecrates the memorial that is the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The tomb itself is to commemorate all of those military personnel who have been lost in battle or who have been identified without a proper name, therefore not having a proper burial or tomb themselves. It is one memorial to be respected and honored forever. The next place we visit is Ford's Theater. This here is a virtual picture of the booth in which President Lincoln was shot by John Wilkes Booth. President Lincoln was our 16th president, and he... Kid with the fanny pack! Oh my God, this kid does not stop talking! As I was saying, this is the booth that President Lincoln was shot in. John Wilkes Booth jumped from this booth to the stage, broke his leg, and kept running after President Lincoln was shot. He was then taken across the street, where he then died. This here is the Lincoln Memorial. This is a statue that I bought when I was a kid and I went to Washington, D.C. I have a few figurines. Thank you, Mom and Dad. This is the Lincoln Memorial, used to commemorate the 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. On the steps right about here, Martin Luther King gave his famous I Have a Dream speech looking toward the Washington Monument. Lincoln was a very influential president in American history and helped to end the evil that was slavery and got us through the Civil War, and then hoped to reform America and rebind the North and the South, but unfortunately was assassinated before his goal came to fruition. The next stop is the Korean War Memorial. In the Korean War Memorial, there are 19 statues. Each statue is dressed in a different way to commemorate the different branch of military that they are representing. Some represent the Marines, some the Army, some the Navy, some the Air Force. The Korean War Memorial is there to commemorate the Korean War and the efforts of our brave soldiers during that conflict. The next memorial is the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. This large wall here contains 58,000 men and women who lost their lives or are still missing due to the Vietnam War. You have to be extremely quiet as we are walking past this one because that's the expectation and that's just honorable. Honor these men and women who lost their lives defending your country. So, the Vietnam War Memorial is here to memorialize those men and women that fought bravely in the Vietnam War. Welcome to the Einstein Memorial. Mr. Allen's really excited over there because this is the site of the National Academy of Sciences. And to commemorate this building and all of his achievements, we get a statue to Albert Einstein. It's got some quotes around the back. You can read them if you were there, but you're not. So, we have some people sitting on there. You can go climb on Einstein. I stole this picture from Google. Kind of creepy that we can see these people, but it is what it is. Enjoy the Einstein Memorial and go climb on it. This is the U.S. Capitol building. This is where all the laws are made. Right here is where Schoolhouse Rock's I'm Just a Bill was probably filmed. So, the House and the Senate are both going to work in this building. The top statue, her name is Freedom. The rotunda was built during Abraham Lincoln's presidency. And with all of the angst and anxiety of the Civil War going on, Abraham Lincoln still pushed through to make sure that the rotunda kept being worked on and finished to give the country some sense of unity and a symbol that the government was still working for them. So, that's the Capitol. What a cool picture. Okay, here. Hey! Fanny Pack kid! That kid's gonna make me lose it. Somebody take care of Fanny Pack. I'm gonna rip that Fanny Pack up. You ain't gonna have it. Cute little floral pattern. Okay, like I was saying, this is the Martin Luther King Memorial. Along this side it says, out of a mountain of despair, a stone of hope. And then Martin Luther King is coming out of the mountain, therefore symbolizing the stone of his hope. Martin Luther King obviously had many important quotations. A lot of those quotations are part of the memorial on the back wall as well. This memorial is to memorialize Martin Luther's life, Martin Luther King Jr.'s life and fight for civil rights. On our next stop is the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Memorial, FDR for short. FDR was our president during World War II. He is actually the longest serving president. He served for 16 years. Although he had polio and was very sick on the last few years of his presidency. But some say his wife, Eleanor, was probably serving as president the last year of his presidency behind the scenes because he was so sick. This memorial has many of his very famous sayings to keep Americans calm during World War II. FDR is known as a great president because he got us through things like the Great Depression. He also got us through World War II. What a great historical figure. This right here is his cute little dog. Our next memorial is the Jefferson Memorial. Jefferson was the third president. He also was the main writer in the Declaration of Independence. It is also the name after your middle school, Thomas Jefferson Middle School. Thomas Jefferson was a very active president, and he was quite a good looker, kind of like that Mr. Allen guy over there. Hey, fanny pack kid! Oh, God, that fanny pack kid is driving me nuts. Somebody get on him. On our next stop of the tour is the Pentagon. The Pentagon is, well, a pentagon. It's five-sided. I bet you didn't see that coming. The Pentagon is home to the United States Department of Defense. Our next stop is here, the National Cathedral. One of, if not the most beautiful building in all of America. It is non-denominational, which means there's no specific religion here. There are services held, and it has many beautiful stained glass windows. Helen Keller's tomb is also in the National Cathedral. Mr. Allen's favorite stained glass window is this one. It's called the Spirit of Apollo. This basalt lunar rock that is enclosed inside the stained glass window is a gift from the Apollo 11 mission during the 1960s. Hey! Fanny pack! Oh, he thinks because his fanny pack looks like the window, he can talk. That is not correct. Our next stop here is the White House. The White House is where the president lives. This White House here is a 3D puzzle that I built years ago. Who knew it would come in handy someday? You can get a 360-degree look now at the White House. And our next... fanny pack. Good. Quiet it down. Okay, our next step is Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon is George Washington's home. This is the back patio. This is the reason that Mr. Allen thinks that George Washington must have been truly dedicated to the improvement of the country, because there's no way that if they asked Mr. Allen to be the first president of a nation, that he would leave this place, this view, and this opportunity to sit on the back porch, watch the Potomac River flow by, and drink coffee. It doesn't make sense to him. But hey, that's why George Washington is the best and the greatest. You could call him the original or OG GOAT, greatest of all time. Mr. Allen does appreciate George Washington's precedence and how important his presidency was to the United States itself. What a guy George Washington is. Not just a colonel, a great man, inventor, builder, president, American, the list goes really on and on. In the museum in Mount Vernon, his estate, which is gorgeous, you can see his wooden teeth. They're kind of nasty. One of the coolest memorials in Washington, D.C. is this one. This one is the World War II Memorial. That is obviously there to commemorate all of our brave men and women who served during World War II from every state. Therefore, every state and American territory has a pillar with a wreath to represent all of the soldiers who fought from all of those locations. There's a reflecting pond in the middle that is absolutely gorgeous. From afar, Along the other monuments, you can see the Washington Monument. The Washington Monument looks like this, except for actually the real one has different color stones from the bottom to the top because building was delayed and they couldn't find the same type of brick when they continued to finish it. It's here to commemorate our first president and winning general of the Revolutionary War, George Washington. He was the OG GOAT, greatest of all time. Our next scene is United States Marine Corps Memorial. Oh, Jesus. Fanny Pack Kid, for the love of God, you need to stop talking when I am talking. This tour was extremely cheap for everybody involved, but that doesn't give you the right to talk and feel whatever you want to say. Stop flirting with the girls, take your fanny pack, fly home for all I care. Please, fanny pack, you gotta get yourself out of here. You're driving me insane. I can't wait till you go home. I've never met more of a disrespectful fanny pack kid in my entire life. My God. Oh, fanny pack guy. Anyways, as I was saying, this is the American Marine Corps Memorial. This depicts the scene at Iwo Jima after the Americans, Marine Corps, and the Navy have beaten the Japanese troops and taken one of their most important bases during World War II. Okay, here's Todd the tour guide signing off. No offense now, Fanny Pack Kid. I hope you had a good time. I know you're just a little chit-chatty and that, you want to flirt with the girls, but you got to listen to the history. Have a great time. It was really nice to have shared some facts about Washington, D.C. Now I'm going to go back to my virtual world. So, here's Mr. Allen signing off. I hope you enjoyed Todd's tour. If you didn't, I am so sorry. It was very cheap. Hope you had a good week. We'll talk to you next week, Monday, with more videos. So, till then, stay awesome, stay healthy, stay safe. See you later.